all very fancy down here. Is that a dog? There's a picture, that's a dog. And Mummy and Daddy Swan. The 4 juveniles from last year have swum off somewhere. Yes, hello. You're going to breed this year? No, I've not got anything for you. No, I haven't got anything. Yeah, I know. What are you doing? You had your head underwater, haven't you? So, yeah, snort, snort, snort. Snort, snort, snort. No, don't have an opinion. So, Jamie Michael. The trial of Jamie Michael. 45-year-old was he in Royal Navy, Royal Marines, he was in the Royal Marine, in the Marines. On active duty in Afghanistan and Iraq. 45-year-old, built like a brick shithouse. Of course, there has to be. So, after the Southport incident, he put out a video on Facebook, 12-minute long video, where he said that people need to be vigilant, as he's a father. People need to be vigilant to keep an eye on what's going on around schools, in the community, around playgrounds and public parks, all this sort of thing, to keep an eye on the what the dinghy arrivals are getting up to, in case they start causing trouble of the stabbing variety sort of thing. It was days after Southport. You've seen the video, and I would have uploaded the video before to upload this. So in that video, he talks about being vigilant and also holding MPs, councillors, police and the authorities to account, because it is their job, because they want to the compact is that we aren't armed in the UK, i.e. we don't have standing on a bin. The reason why we aren't allowed a Second Amendment right, i.e. to be able to have guns, is because, oh, don't worry, the state is there to do the shooting and all the nasty stuff. You don't need to defend yourself against the baddies. There's no reason why you should need guns or all that sort of thing to defend yourself. The state is there to do all that. The state will have your back. You don't need to have your own back. The state is always there. So that's the justification why we don't need, or we aren't allowed to have what the US is, the Second Amendment. Of course, the state doesn't exist. That's a complete load of fiction, complete load of unmitigated bollocks. But the state will actually be there to prevent people getting stabby, and ending up dead. So, a complaint was put in that Jamie Michael had breached Public Order Act. Basically, that he was his utterances on Facebook in the video were made him guilty of a race-based hate crime, encouraging, or rather, it would end up encouraging race-based crimes against certain people. I'll have to put it in the text, as it's gone clean out of the top of my head. Basically, there's that he was encouraging people to sort of go out and hunt migrants and take out their own justice against them, and yeah. So he got charged for that. 19 days on remand, I think it was. Then he got let out of the tag. That was in August last year, immediately after Southport. And the trial was yesterday. Actually, yesterday. There's been a past week or so in Merthyr, Tydfil Crown Court. And he's a South Million, Jamie Michael. So the trial was in Merthyr. He's a member of the Free Speech Union. He was represented by a solicitor from them to begin with, told the police that the charges that the CPS had brought against him, actually he told the police, he told the CPS, the charges that they had brought against him were nonsensical and that they wouldn't stand up in court. And he tried to persuade them to drop them as they would secure a conviction. They ignored it, of course. And they went ahead over the trial, and all the expense of a Crown Court trial, and let alone putting him up in remand all the time. He was acquitted. 17 minutes it took for the jury to unanimously acquit him. 17 minutes to throw it out, and that, a big chunk of that 17 minutes takes getting to know you, don't you think the judge said some interesting words, and oh, your blouse looks nice today. Oh, isn't that a nice tie you're wearing? Yes. Did you have a nice journey over today? That sort of thing. Just pleasantries. So the foreman of the jury would ask, go around each of the other 11 for their opinion yours. That'll take a matter of minutes. Then you scribble it down on a piece of paper and you come out. 17 minutes. Cleared. All that for nothing. So, who put the complaint into the police? Who made the allegation that he'd broken the law? And he was one of these far-right fascist thugs. Encouraging some more Farage right and all the rest of that crap. Somebody from the office of the Labour MS for the Rhondda, one Elizabeth Buffy, as she goes, Williams. And she's another awful, of course, affluent white female urban liberal. Somebody from her office put this complaint in to the police. But how dare he, how dare this pleb, speak negatively of the new arrivals. He's encouraging people to go around and bash them in all the rest of the bollocks that they think in the little hamster wheels that passes for their brain. So, she's now deleted her Twitter account. Nuked, gone, vanished, kaput. However, she had a cry about it on Facebook, of course. Blah blah blah. Oh no, we have to do these things, because we can't have people coming after us. The dangers us MPs and MS, MPs and politicians we all face. Blah blah blah. Whine, boo hoo. It's called accountability, you fucking retard. That's all it is. How dare people hold you accountable as they did in that way? So, that was a nice vote against you, wasn't it? Because the people in the jurors would have been from your constituency as well. They're drawn out from a very, very large area across South Wales for Merthyr Crown Court. And a good chunk of them would have been from the Rhondda. No doubt many of them would have been your voters. So, as it stands, that acquittal within 17 minutes just threw the whole thing out. Basically, if the other people who had been imprisoned last year, many of those who were in prison last year were saying dirty words on the internet, or even just turning up to peaceful protests or whatever else, if they'd pleaded not guilty and pushed it for a Crown Court trial, jury trial, they'd have been acquitted. There's no reason why many of those need to still be languishing in jail. But because they pleaded guilty under wrong advice, they had they pleaded not guilty and pushed it for a Crown Court trial, jury trial, they wouldn't be in prison, they'd have been acquitted. So, that's how things have gone. There's a concept in law that if a if the jury deliberation is very short in favour of conviction, that solidifies the CPS's case to bring the charges in the first place. And the longer the deliberation, the weaker CPS's case, and obviously in an acquittal, the case goes out the window. In a very, 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 very short amount of deliberation before acquittal, the CPS's case was completely and utterly shot from the beginning. This was politically motivated from the office of a Labour politician to push for this conviction. It's entirely political. CPS is completely politicised and it blew up in the faces. So well done. Brilliant.